The 2017 Hyundai Archery World Cup began in familiar surroundings in Shanghai, China in May. This imposing waterfront setting saw the top two women in the world go head-to-head for gold, with Sara Lopez of Colombia emerging on top. Denmark's world #1 Stefan Hansen won the men's competition. To Europe and another regular location on tour, the Turkish resort of Antalya in June. Hundreds of archers began the week, but in the women's event, the beachfront shootout went the way of Denmark's Sara Lopez. Despite his win, Chen Xiangshuan didn't claim enough points to make it to Rome. Next, Salt Lake City. In the shadow of the Eastern Archery Center, there was glory for Andrea Markos of Spain and defending World Cup champion Mike Schlosser, who took the gold in a dramatic one-arrow shoot-off against Hansen. Our final stage was Berlin, another debut host city and another victory for Sonicson, newly installed as world #1. The men's event provided an upset, sheer determination and stylish shooting from Turkey's Demir Elmagakli gave him gold. And so to Rome, Italy's capital city, the center of an ancient empire, the venue for the 2017 Hyundai Archery World Cup final. Good morning everyone and welcome to the Estadio del Marmi in Rome. It's Saturday the 2nd of September and this is compound finals day of the 2017 Hyundai Archery World Cup. My name's Stephen George. I'm your commentator today, bringing you live and uninterrupted coverage of all the matches today. Now, it's a brighter day here than it was yesterday for practice, 26 degrees here in the stadium, and that should promise some good archery for us to watch. We're going to begin with the quarterfinals of the women's competition in just a few moments' time, followed directly by the semi-finals and finals. And about to enter the field of play, the top 7 archers in the world right now, plus an Italian archer from the host nation who just happens to be Marcella Tognoli, the defending champion. So let's take a look at the archers who are in action today. Sara Lopez, Sara Sonicson, the world #1, Sarah Priels, Andrea Markos there, Tanya Jensen of Denmark, Yesim Bostan of Turkey, Chuni Xuan of Chinese Taipei, and of course Marcella Tognoli. Now, huge talent on display this morning, all 8 archers in with a chance of the title. And joining me in the commentary box is Andrew Hornsby. Andrew, looking at the draw, who do you think will get through and finally emerge as our champion this weekend?
Buongiorno everybody. I'm so happy to be here at this Archery World Cup finals. The top 4 that I'm hoping to go to the semi-finals are, I'm hoping to see Sara Lopez go through, and Yesim Bostan, and Tanya Jensen, and Sara Sonicson.
And out of those, who would you pick as our winner this morning?
Well, I'm hoping to go for Sara Lopez from Colombia. She's my favorite girl in the world, and I'm hoping she can win her 3rd World Cup final today.
That would be quite something, wouldn't it?
And here comes our first archer now.
So our first action of the morning, the first of our quarterfinals, and time to, for the first time, either of the 2 archers you're about to see have faced one another in match play. One archer who's fresh from a silver medal in the recent Universiade Games, and the other, the new World Games champion. So on target #1, from Chinese Taipei, Chen Yixuan, ranked #12 in the world this year, a late replacement for the injured Barachi of Iran, and her first appearance in the World Cup finals. Let's see what she's capable of. Andrew, are you looking forward to seeing her shoot?
Yes, I sure am. And here comes my favorite girl in the world. It's my favorite archer, Sara Lopez from Colombia.
A little bit for her to prove, perhaps, having lost the #1 spot. She'll be very, very keen to make it to the finals here, won't she?
Yeah, Sara Lopez, ranked #2 in the world.
That's right, there she is, looking very cool and calm with her shades on. Only recently conceded the #1 status to Sonicsen of Denmark. She's won the World Cup twice before. She's the world champion, of course, and recently World Games champion from Wrocław as well.
That's right, she did that in July as well.
Our line judge for this match is Alexandra Leggio.
Alessandra Leggio. And it appears as though Sara Lopez will be shooting first.
Well spotted, so it will be Lopez on target #2, who will begin the match for us here.
And we're now underway.
Deep breath from Lopez. Beginning of the weekend for her. She begins with a 9.
It's quite a good start. It's just a wee bit out of the 10 ring.
So Chun here opens up with a 10 right in the X.
With an
Perfect
early
start.
lead. Oh, that's way better for Sara Lopez.
Good.
Oh, that's 2 in a row for Miss Chen. Oh, good start for Sara Lopez. 29 of a possible 30.
So possibly Chen could take a lead here with another 10 with her final arrow of this first end.
Can she get it? Yes!
She does.
3 in a row. What a perfect start to the World Cup finals.
Chun was very composed there, wasn't she, Andrew? And didn't mean much to her that she had a 2-time champion stood next to her on the shooting line.
Uh-huh. So Sara Lopez is falling behind by 1 point.
At this stage, it won't worry her that the gap is only a point, will she? Will it? But she, in the next end, she'll want to take the advantage back, won't she?
Uh-huh.
Now remember, in the individual event, a match is played over 5 ends, rather like sets in tennis. Each end has 3 arrows in it. The maximum you can score with an arrow is 10, as you've seen, so there's a maximum of 150 points available. And Sara Lopez has scored some 150-point matches in her time.
She's on 150 with 11 X's.
That is the world record, which she holds currently. Impressive shooting from her, but she's behind at the moment, which means she'll shoot first again in this second end.
Yep, she's behind by 1 point. Ah, good comeback.
Good shot.
Ooh, that means the score is tied.
Which is what Lopez will have wanted and what Chen will want to avoid.
Oh, back-to-back 10s for Lopez.
So Lopez's first arrow of the match was a 9, but nothing out of the 10 so far for her. She looks to have found her range. Chen with another 9.
Ooh, just a wee bit out of the 10 ring, so she falls behind by 1. Oh, 59 of a possible 60 for Sara. She's dropped only 1 point so far.
So a 10 here for Chen, needed to keep the gap at 1 point.
Nope, not going to happen. She's falling behind by 2 at that after 6 arrows.
So a 3-point swing there with those second set arrows. And Lopez looks like she's settling into the match now, Andrew.
Yep, she's back in the game.
So a few words of encouragement for Chen from her coach. One of the things that the top archers talk about is letting the bad arrows go immediately and focusing on the next one, and that's something that Chen will have to do now because she has 2 points between her and Lopez. Andrew, do you think that Lopez will extend her lead in the next set?
Hopefully. Even though she's my favorite girl in the world.
She looks very happy there on the shooting line.
Yep.
And Chen now, because she is behind, will shoot first on target number 1.
Yeah. Time for end number 3.
Yeah, good shot.
Ooh, another 9 for Miss Chen.
I heard the coach call good shot there, but she really needs 10s against Lopez.
Ooh, that's only Sarah's second out of the 10 rings so far.
So the gap still 2 points.
Oh, good comeback from Miss Chen. So a 9 to keep the lead. But it's not going to happen. She still has a 2-point lead with 7 hours to go.
Chen's final arrow of this set is another 9.
The door is open.
Certainly is.
A 10 will give her a 3-point lead. And that's what she does.
So 3 points for Sara Lopez, the 2014 and 2015 champion, her 4th appearance in World Cup finals. This is Chen's debut on a World Cup, and she got here as a late replacement for the Iranian archer who was injured and had to pull out. So there's a lot here now for Chen to do, isn't there? 3 points with only 2 sets remaining. That's a difficult challenge, isn't it?
Uh-huh. It's quite a difficult challenge for Miss Chen.
So there'll be no perfect 150 score for Lopez this time, but she won't mind if she gets through this match and into the semi-finals, will she?
Yes, hopefully. Because I'm hoping that this year in Rome, she will win her 3rd World Cup final this year.
So Chen playing catch-up. 17th in the World Games earlier this summer, which Lopez won, of course.
Oh, that's another one just out of the 10 ring. Milling it out.
Very close, the margins between 9 and 10 here at this level.
Oh, dead center.
Chen 4 behind now.
Oh, good comeback. Oh, very good one for Sarah. She still has a 4-point lead with only 4 hours remaining.
Here's Chen, needs another 10 now.
Ooh, very uncharacteristic for Miss Chen.
Yeah, you don't see very many arrows at this level in compound archery into that 8 ring. A 9 enough for Lopez.
She extends her lead to 5 now. Only 3 hours to go.
So Lopez looking pretty commanding now, as we thought she might do at the beginning of this match. Her greater experience beginning to tell, and Chen with a bit of a mountain to climb now. Andrew, 5 points the difference. Can she do it, do you think?
Yeah, I'm sure she would, with only 3 hours remaining.
Window of opportunity now for Sara Lopez to secure passage into the semi-finals indeed.
So an early 9 for Sara Lopez with her first arrow, and then very, very consistent with the rest of her arrows for the remainder of this match. Meaning she has a 5-point lead over Chen. Each archer has 3 arrows remaining now, 3 high-pressure arrows for Chen. of Chinese Taipei on target 1.
Oh, good shot. Very good shot. Almost on the spider.
9.
Oh, she gives a point back. It's a 4-point lead with 2 hours to go.
Can Chen haul it in? This would be a famous victory if she could.
9 or 10 too close to goal.
Oh, that's going to be close. What do you think?
That arrow's on the line, but it's touching enough of the line for it to be upgraded to a 10.
10.
No doubt about that one. The lead extends to 5 with 1 arrow to go.
9.
Ooh, the door is open.
Absolutely.
It's a 6 to win. Can she do it and go through to the semifinals? Yes!
And that's it. The world champion had too much power for Chen of Chinese Taipei to cope with. Sara Lopez found her form, and despite all of her success, probably had something to prove to herself here this weekend. She's safely through to the semi-finals, where she'll meet either Bostan of Turkey or Priels of Belgium. Chen, a late entry to the competition, gets an early exit.
Well, my favorite girl is through to the semi-finals. Thank goodness.
Andrea, she looked a tiny bit nervous right at the beginning. She just puffed her cheeks out there before she shot her first arrow, and that was a 9. Do you think she was nervous at the beginning?
No, I think she was quite good. So our next match will feature Sara Priels and Yashin Bostan.
So Lopez goes off, and she will be in the semis. We'll see her later. So yeah, Priels and Bostan. Andrew, what do you make of that match? Who will win that one, do you think?
I might go for Yashin Bostan of Turkey.
If you do recall, the gold medal match shooting a 30 in that final end.
And Lopez, as she leaves the field, what will she have learned, do you think, from that match? She won pretty convincingly, but what will she be looking to improve for the semi-finals, do you think?
Hopefully, she will get a perfect score of 150. Because I would love to see her shoot a perfect score today.
Yeah, that would be something for the crowd to see. It's gradually filling up here in the stands. And the VIP area as well, filling up. Wonderful setting here.
Here comes the judge and the coaches for our next match for the combat women.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the field of play for the compound women's quarterfinal match.
So time to find out who will meet Lopez in the next round. Our second quarterfinal of the day. One archer making her World Cup finals debut, and the other looking to go better than her 4th place here last year, as the Praetorian Guard escorts our first archer onto the field of play.
Sara Priels.
On target number 1, seeded 3rd, representing Belgium.
Al bersaglio numero 1, terza qualificata per il Belgio.
So Sara Priels on target number 1. She's 27 years old. She's ranked 3 overall in the world this year. She's the 2016 European champion, but this is her World Cup final debut. Andrew,
Yeah,
looking forward to seeing her.
Yeah, it's her first World Cup final. And here comes the next archer, Yashin Bostan of Turkey.
Seeded 6th,
Seated 6.
representing Turkey.
E la sua avversaria al bersaglio numero 2, sesta qualificata per la Turchia.
So Bostan of Turkey at 22, the younger slightly of the 2 archers. She's ranked 8 in the world overall this year, but seeded 7 for this event. She took 4th place last year in the World Cup final, and a 4th place at the Universiade Games earlier in the year.
And it's the same judge as the first match.
That's right. Alexandra Vecchio will take charge as the line judge in all of our matches this morning, and he indicates...
And it's going to be Sara Priels to shoot first.
Hadi şu an senin olsun. Hadi kolay gelsin.
So you've seen how it's done here on the field of play at the Estadio del Marmi. And Bostan puts her first arrow in her bow as Priels takes aim at the target 50 meters away.
9.
Good start. Yashin Bostan, 22 years old. Good start.
Put it on the click, front end doesn't move. 8, 7, 6.
9.
Ooh, 2 9s for Sara Priels, uncharacteristic.
Sure, and taking quite a long time on the hold on those 2 shots as well, Andrew.
That's 2 in a row for Yashin Bostan.
Off it in front of it.
Priels, can she find the 10 with her 3rd arrow of this first end?
6.
9.
Nope, 3 9s.
Hadi güzel.
Right hand side.
Little rueful look on her face as she walks back to the coach there.
Yeah, she's not happy with that. Oh, what a perfect start for Yashin Bostan.
Fist bumps between Bostan and her coach, and well, she might. 30 points, Andrew. That's exactly how you want to start one of these matches, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Exactly what Miss Chen did in the first match.
That's right, although she didn't emerge victorious from that one, so there's a long way to go in this match. Do you think, now you've seen both archers shoot, who looks the most likely to take this match?
Hopefully Yashin Bostan might do it. What can she do? Can she make 12 more 10s?
Well, that would be something, wouldn't it, to find a perfect score in these quarterfinals. Lopez couldn't manage it in our first match, but there's plenty of archers out there on the field who are capable of it. So Priels, who's behind by 3, will shoot first on target number 1. 3 points is quite a big gap already, isn't it, Andrew?
Uh-huh. Oh, that's a good 10.
Her first of the match.
Not a bad shot.
And Yashin still has not missed.
Don't flex that front end. Stay solid on what you're doing and look at it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Another long hold for Priels with that arrow.
Ooh, uncharacteristic. An 8 for Priels. 5 in a row.
Well, we're on for a perfect score of 60 with the first 3 arrows for the Turkish archer. Priels trailing by 5 now.
9.
Oh, it's a 9 for Priels. She won't be happy with that. Can Yashin make it 6 in a row?
10.
Yes, she can. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. A perfect score of 60 so far.
I love the expressions of the archers when they walk back to their coaches. Sometimes they look a bit surprised that they've done as well as they have. It's a really interesting expression that they have. And Priels not looking so relaxed as Bostan, who looks happy to be out in front and happy to be on a perfect 60 so far.
Yeah.
She was your pick for this match, Andrew. Looks like you're spot on so far.
I sure am. Sara Lopez was the first archer I picked so far, and she's on to the semi-finals. So that's 1 of 4. So can Yashin Bostan make another perfect score of 30? There's only one way to find out. Here we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
9.
Oh, that's just out. That's a millimeter out. She won't be happy with that.
Still high.
She looks back at her coach.
Bravo.
Oh, wow. That's a 7th straight 10 for Yeşim Bostan.
Put it on the curve.
Remarkable shooting from the Turkish archer.
9.
Oh, another one out. Big smile on her face.
Yet to be out of the 10, Bostan.
8 in a row. 8-point advantage for Yeşim Bostan.
So Bostan, a strong mixed team and team shooter.
Oh, that's a perfect X there for Sara Priels. And at this point, it's not much about Sara Priels. All eyes on this girl.
Alır alır o.
And another 10.
99 10s in a row. She's clean through 3.
I don't think even you would have predicted that at this stage, Andrea. That's quite some shooting, isn't it?
Yeah.
How good can it get? Ladies and gentlemen, pretty soon.
Wow. She's doing very well so far. 30 on the first end, 30 on the second end, 30 on the third end.
It's a little bit of a message. If she gets through this round and into the semis, that's a real message to the other archers in the field, isn't it? To say, look, I'm bringing my A game today.
Çok güzel.
You see the scores? 82 to 90. Can Yeşim Bostan do it? She just needs 6 more arrows in that 10 ring.
So it's an 8-point margin.
And here we go with the fourth end.
All the pressure now on the Belgian archer.
Yep. Sara Priels is shooting very well here, representing Belgium. Oh, and the streak will end at 9. We won't be seeing a perfect score.
10, 9, 8.
9.
Oh, she may have given that point back.
Aferin. Çok güzel. Bravo.
Oh,
Aşağıda biraz
that's a good comeback after that 9 by Yeşim Bostan.
Yeah, and she'll be annoyed that that first arrow was a 9 for sure.
Yep.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Oh, that was a very good 29 out of 30 for Sara Priels. She'll be very happy with that.
9.
Oh,
9 for Bostan. and
Oh, dear.
surprise. So the lead is cut, albeit by 1 point. So it's a 7-point game now, Andrew, and we're down to the last 3 arrows.
yeah. It's too bad we aren't going to see a perfect score today for Yeşim Bostan.
Not in this match. We have plenty more coming up, though, and plenty of opportunities for some perfect scores. Certainly as we get further into the competition this morning and the competition between the archers hots up, we may see those 150s come out. I think it's a reasonable gamble of yours, Andrew, that we'll see at least one 150 on the field this morning.
Yeah, hopefully.
So she can hold on. Bostan there of Turkey, 3 arrows away from a place in the semi-finals.
And in 2011, I went to Istanbul in Turkey, and that was my first time in Turkey.
And did you see Bostan shoot there?
No, it was Gizem Kocaman.
7, 6.
Ooh, that's very close to the 10 ring, but it looks like it's just out.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And she's not going to claw back the advantage with
Cried,
9s.
hoping to see 3 more 10s for
Sol
Shimbostan.
aşağıda.
And looks like it might be on their way.
9 o.
Looks like it may have just caught that line there.
Yeah, the score is giving it as a 9, and I think that's more accurate. Another 9 from the Belgian archer there, taking her to 129 points.
Ooh. 9. She's just moved her side.
Uzak biraz, dikkatli ol yalnız.
So we only have 1 arrow left
10,
for each archer.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh, right on the X there. She'll be very happy with that.
Good finish.
So, looks like Shimbostan needs a hit to win. Anything will go through to the semifinals. That wasn't what she wanted, but she still got through.
And Bostan takes the match. She's defeated the debutante Sara Lopez of Belgium. The Turkish archer takes a step closer to a medal match, but her opponent in the next round will be much tougher. Double World Cup winner Sara Lopez awaits. But for now, huge smiles from Bostan. She's through to the semi-finals.
Final shot was not a thing of beauty, wasn't it?
No, not at all. Just needed to land the arrow on the target, and she did that. But she'll be disappointed, actually, to finish with a 7, because it's important for her to show the other archers who are ranked higher in the world that she's capable of a big score.
And there's Brain Gallantine's dad, who will be coaching Brain Gallantine this afternoon.
In the men's individual competition. And applause from the crowd as the 2 archers leave the field of play.
So, that's 2 of my favorite archers that got through. Shimbostan. I knew she would do it.
So that's how quick it goes and how tough it is. Chen of Chinese Taipei and Priels of Belgium are out. Lopez and Bostan are through.
So, our next match is going to be Tanya Jensen of Denmark and Andrea Markos of Spain. And I used to live in Spain.
And what was that like? Did you enjoy the Spanish lifestyle?
Uh-huh. And place I stayed in Spain was called Marbella.
A very well-known tourist destination, as is Rome, where we are today, and the stadium filling up now as the judge and coaches take to the field of play.
Oh, and I think I do know one of the coaches for who will be coaching Tanya Jensen.
Yeah, it's a very well-known face on the archery circuit, isn't it, Andrew?
And there's Tanya Jensen right now.
Yep, time to go into the top half of the draw and see one young archer who's really making her mark in 2017, including winning the Indoor World Cup earlier in the year. And how will she fare outside against the woman she defeated to win that title in Vegas in February? Let's find out.
Tanya Jensen.
On target number 1, age 22.
Ranked 9th in the world.
She took mixed team gold at the World Cup in Odense last year in her first World Cup final appearance. And she's also, of course, the World Youth Champion from 2015.
And there's Martin Damsbo in the coach's box.
Yeah, he's a great guy to have in your corner in a finals, isn't he? He's been there.
And there's Andrea Markos of Spain, who took gold in Salt Lake City this year. Andrea Markos of Espana, ranked 5th in the world.
She's 28 years old, slightly older than Jensen. She won the Salt Lake City stage of the 2017 World Cup to book her place here in Rome. So, Andrew, which of these 2 archers do you think will go through to the next round?
This is going to be quite a difficult one. I think I'm going to go for Tanya Jensen.
She's had...
Because this is a rematch of the 2017 World Indoor World Cup final.
Which you watched, I believe.
That's right. And it appears as though it's going to be Andrea Markos of Spain to go first.
It looks that way, yes, on target number 2, the Spanish archer to begin.
Andrea is the 4th-seeded archer in this event. And she will get us underway on target 2. Oh, that's going to be very close, right on the line between 9 and 10, but it looks like a 10 from here.
I think you're right. So a good start for the Spanish archer and an equally good start for Jensen.
Tanya with a 10. Oh, 2 10s in a row for Andrea Markos. Both archers are shooting great. Starting out strong.
The archers had a chance to practice on the range here yesterday, although the conditions were hugely different with a torrential downpour at one stage and more wind than there is today.
Ooh, doors open for Tanya Jensen to take the lead. And she does!
Great grouping of arrows for Jensen there. 2 arrows almost on top of each other, Andrew.
Yeah, Tanya 3 out of 3 so far.
So just 1 point between the 2 archers. 29 for Markos of Spain.
Yeah, that's going to be a very, very close match.
We said at the beginning, Andrew, that these 2 archers very, very evenly matched. Jensen 9 in the world, Markos 5th in the world this year. So each archer is capable of taking this win. Remember, if you're enjoying the action, you can join us on social media as well. Twitter's the best way. Just look out for hashtag WCFRome17 and follow @WorldArchery. Just let us know your picks for the title here this weekend and which matches you're enjoying the most.
And we're live on YouTube as well. Oh, and that's a brilliant shot from Ms. Markos. She's dialed in. Just moved her sight. Oh, she didn't look happy with that shot, but she got it in. She has not missed on her first 4 shots. Oh, that's another 9 for Andrea Markos. She won't be happy with that. Chance to extend their lead. Oops, sorry, I jinxed her. So it's still a 1-point lead for Tanya Jensen. I wonder.
Yeah, very difficult to call that one. When you see an arrow with a value and a star next to it, it means that the arrow is on the line, and the higher value will count if the arrow is touching the line.
Jensen.
So 58 points for Tanya Jensen there, and a little smile with her coach.
If Andrea Markos caught the line with her last shot, it means it might be tied.
You're right, so that would bring the scores level at 58 points each. So we watch attentively now to see if that final arrow from Andrea Markos is upgraded to a 9. It isn't.
It's not.
No, that could have gone either way. It was difficult to see, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's still a 1-point lead for Tanya Jensen. Wow, very close match.
So Jensen making her 2nd World Cup final appearance overall. As we said, this match a repeat of the 2017 Vegas Indoor World Cup match, which Jensen won. And she has a lead here, although it's only a point. So Markos intent now on payback.
Ooh.
Can she take out Jensen at this quarter-final stage?
Oh yeah, she took gold in mixed team event, Tanya Jensen. Oh, and that's a perfect 10 for Andrea Markos. She's right back in it.
Yep, X. Mid-X.
Oh, that's a very good 10 for Tanya Jensen, just on the X-ring.
You used the phrase dialed in to refer to Markos earlier, Andrew, but Jensen also absolutely perfect scoring at the moment.
Oh, that's right on the line for Markos, but I think it's going to be a 9-star for that one. It hasn't come up on our score yet.
Masser tid. 7, 6, 5. Yep.
Oh, that's definitely in at 10 for Tanya Jensen. So at the moment, it's a 2-point lead for Tanya Jensen. Oh, that's Andrea's first arrow in the X-ring.
86 for Markos.
Could be 87.
Yep.
Oh, that's definitely a perfect score for Tanya Jensen. She's right back in it.
88 points out of a possible 90 for the Danish archer. Fantastic shooting by anybody's standards. And looking probably the more relaxed of the two out there, although that's a smile from Markos there as she gets her arrows back. Those big sunglasses make her expression very difficult to read, somewhat inscrutable, a little bit difficult to know how she's feeling.
Andrea Markos got a perfect score. So it's still a 1-point lead.
You're right, 87 for Markos, 88 for Jensen. So we're deep into this match now. This is
a very, 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 very close match.
And a really important end of 3 arrows coming up, Andrew. This could give one archer a platform or allow another to sneak back in.
Let's find out. Andrea Markos to shoot first on target number 2. X. She's right back in it. So a 10 to keep the lead. Yes, it is a 10. We only have 5 arrows remaining. Ooh, a 9.
Full focus.
So Jensen could open the lead up to 2.
Yeah, can she do it?
Perfect arrow in the, and she can.
Yeah. Good 10. So it's a 2-point lead now with 4 arrows remaining. And that looks like it's just out.
It's given as a 9 by the scorers, although there is now a query over it.
Yes, another 30 for Tanya Jensen.
So no doubt about those 3 arrows from Jensen, 118 points for her.
Yeah,
which would be
no doubt about that one.
3-point lead if Markos's middle final arrow isn't upgraded, but I suspect it will be. We'll keep an eye on that, Andrew. And only 1 end remaining.
It's a 10. So it appears as though Andrea Markos has 116 points.
So Jensen extends her lead only by a point, though. Only 2 points going into the final 3 arrows of this match. It's still open to either of these archers, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's only a 2-point lead with only 3 arrows remaining. This is Andrea Markos' second appearance in the World Cup final. Oh, that's a perfect 10 for Andrea Markos. That was just what the doctor ordered.
X. Nice.
And another 10 for Jensen, ripping the target face open in that one particular spot because she's so accurate.
Tearing the target. Oh, back-to-back 10s for Markos.
Stærk skud. Lige mod midten. Masser af tid. Arbejde med det. Yes.
Ooh, she gives it back. She gives back a point. So it's a 1-point lead with 1 arrow to go.
Lots of pressure on both these archers now. Markos finds the 10.
The door is ajar.
Only just a maximum.
A 10 to win. Can she go through?
Yep.
Yes!
Wow, there we go. A stunning victory for Jensen. A 1-point win in the end. Too strong for Markos, just as she was indoors earlier in the year. She has the Indoor World Cup title to her name already. Can she add the outdoor crown too? To do it, she'll have to get past either the world #1 or the defending champion in the next round. Tanya Jensen is through to the semi-finals.
Yep. That's 3 out of 3.
So Danish archery, particularly in the compound, is having a fantastic year at the moment, Andrea, isn't it? You've got Sonicson still to come in this competition, and Hansen and Darham, of course, in the men's competition later on.
And if Sara Sonicson wins the next match, it'll be Sara Sonicson versus Tanya Jensen.
In the semis, yes, you're absolutely right.
That would be something.
It could have been many people's pick for the final, actually, but the draw has got it that way as the two archers leave the field of play, both smiling, and that's one of the things that I love most about archery is despite the fierce competition, off the field, everybody is a friend, and there's a lot of respect between the archers.
So now we move on to our final quarterfinal match for the combined women. It'll feature Sara Sonicson of Denmark and the hometown Marcella Tonioli. And Marcella Tonioli is the host nation, so possibly the crowd might go wild.
You've got to hope so. The Italian announcer here making the most of that. If you're enjoying the action here, do send us a note on Twitter. @WorldArchery is our handle, and hashtag WCFRome17 is the one you need to use as the judge and the coaches take to the field of play once more, and the crowd getting excited to see the archers for this next match.
And Sara Sonicson is going to have the same coach. It appears to be Martin Damsbo again, coaching Sara Sonicson. And here comes the woman ranked 1 in the world, Sara Sonicson.
That's right, our last quarter-final. Who will face Jensen in the semi-finals? Two archers who are really big names in the sport. One because she's been getting better and better over the past 12 months. The other because she just happens to be the defending champion. And this is a repeat of the 2016 final, which went Italy's way. Let's find out how it's going to go this time. There is Sara Sonicson from Denmark.
Ranked number 1 in the world.
That's right, shooting on target number 1.
72 match wins in her career. And Martin Damswell will be coaching Sara Sonicson as well. And now
on target number 2, the defending champion.
So as the Roman guard escort her to the field of play, let's hear the noise from the crowd as they welcome the defending champion.
Yeah, the defending champion from Odense. Ranked 15th in the world. The crowd goes wild.
Absolutely as well, they might. Marcella Tonioli, age 31. She's ranked 15 in the world this year and qualified not out of right, but as the host country's nominated athlete. But she's the current champion, and she'll certainly have the home crowd on her side here. And we hope
same judge
that both archers shoot well, but will the home advantage make a difference? Who do you go for here, Andrew? Sonicson or Tonioli?
Well, I know that Marcella Tonioli won last year in Odense, so I think I'm going to go for Sara Sonicson. So I would like to see Sara Sonicson get revenge from Marcella Tonioli.
That
Don't
match,
you agree?
I think you're right, and that match ended on a shoot-off, didn't it? So
yes, it did. Marcella's arrow was closer to the center. Well, well, well. It appears as though Marcella Tonioli will get us underway. It's not going to be Sara Sonicson.
Tonioli takes aim, her first arrow of the finals.
Takes first crack at it.
And she's away with a 9.
And the 31-year-old Tonioli opens up with a 9.
Yep.
10. She grabs an early lead.
Go buwan.
10, 9, 8.
Here's the first 10 of the match, and the crowd goes wild. Oh, dead center. Nearly killing that spider.
2 10s for Sonicson with her first 2 arrows. Tonioli looking for another 10, and she finds it.
Yep. 29, a possible 30 for Marcella Tonioli. So a 10 to keep the lead, a 9 will keep the scores level.
Yep.
And she's got a perfect score to start.
30 for Sonicson, Tonioli with 29. 1 point the advantage for the Danish archer.
With those 2 10s, the crowd went absolutely wild.
They did. They'll be hoping that Tonioli can come up with something special here. She's not had the best season, actually, following her World Cup win last year. She's still a very impressive and talented archer, ranked 15th in the world, but Sonicson has had an amazing season so far, Andrew, hasn't she?
Yeah, and if Marcella Tonioli could come back, and she, even if she might win this one, she might win this match, and it might be an upset. We'll find out in the next 12 hours. Marcella Tonioli to get us underway in this second end. Yes. Perfect 10. Crowd goes wild. Sara Sonicson still has not missed. 4 out of 4.
Tonioli, her 5th appearance at World Cup finals. This one match could really upset things if
9 or
Tonioli.
10. I think it may have caught the line there.
Yeah, a little mark against Tonioli's second arrow. On a loose one for Sonicson.
Very uncharacteristic for Sara Sonicson.
Little opportunity for Tonioli to sneak back into this match at this early stage.
Uh-huh. She may have given that point back.
It's all hanging on that middle arrow, isn't it, Andrew? See whether that's upgraded or not. Sonicson, the world number 1.
9.
So 57 points each. Tonioli will now be hoping that that 9 will be upgraded to a 10. Difficult to call from this distance, but if it is, then that would be a 2-point swing with those arrows and take her into a lead, but we'll see.
Yeah, if that 5th arrow has been upgraded to a 10, she may have the lead.
So this is where the judge at the other end of the target range, 50 meters away, comes into play. He'll be measuring and looking very closely.
If it's not touching the line, it may well be tied, but we'll wait and see what happens. Wow, Marcella Tonioli has the lead by 1 point.
So that middle arrow of hers upgraded to a 10. So the lead swings back to Tonioli now.
And now she's now behind by 1 point. So we could be watching an upset here.
It's actually not yet halfway in this match, but
yep, we still have 9 arrows remaining. Deep
World
breath.
number one is behind here, only by a point, but they all count, and the margins of victory can be narrow in these matches.
There's another 9 for Sara Sonicson.
Yeah, I won't be happy
Very
with that at all.
uncharacteristic. Uncharacteristic of Sara Sonicson.
10, 9, 8.
10. She extends her lead to 2.
Masser af tid. Vend på vindhul. Arbejd med. 10,
Oh,
9,
The wind
8,
swinging
7,
Sonicsen's
6,
bow around like crazy there, and she finds a 9 and does well to find it with only 3 seconds left on her shot clock.
she looks up to the sky with that one.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Tonioli with an 8.
Oh,
Vai Marci,
doors
vai,
open.
che va bene.
It's down to 1.
Masser af tid. Sammenstille.
Oh, triple 9 for Sonicson.
So 27
She won't be
points.
happy with that.
No, she won't at all, because there was a chance there for her, but it's 84. And Tonioli sends down a 9.
Va bene.
Ooh. So,
both archers with 27 from their last 3 arrows, although another one on the line for Tonioli with her middle arrow, so that could be upgraded and give her a 2-point lead, but we'll wait to see. And a little surprise here on the cards, perhaps, if Tonioli can maintain this lead, because Sonicson is the world number 1, and she's having an amazing season.
yeah, and if hopefully if Sara Lopez wins the gold medal here in Rome, she might be back to world number 1. But we'll see what happens.
A long way to go before then. Sonicson, an amazing 4 World Cup stages in 2017, silver in Shanghai, gold in Antalya, silver in Salt Lake City, and
gold in Berlin as well.
again in Berlin, a match which I watched and hugely enjoyed, and the crowd here.
I watched Sara Sonicson on TV.
Still looking very composed, and a great
Oh.
10 for her.
Good comeback. So a 10 to keep the lead for Marcella Tonioli.
10,
Ooh.
9, so scores are level.
Score is tied, 5 arrows remaining.
Arbejd med det hele vejen.
Oh, she may have given that point back. She isn't happy with that.
Tonioli poised like the statues
Oh dear.
behind her, but that's
That's
an 8, and that means
It's a 1-point lead for Sara Sonicson now.
Vend på det. Lige mod midten. 10. Lige uden.
Ooh,
9
that,
with her.
that is very close, but I think it's just out. 112 for Sara Sonicson. So a 10 to keep level.
10, 9.
So the nerves and
Can
the
she
high
do
stakes
it? Yes! Right on the spider.
contributing to some nerves for both archers, but the Italian crowd kind of sucking the arrows down into the gold for Marcella Tonioli, and a 10 for her in the X with her final arrow, which means the scores are all tied up at 112 points each. This is very exciting, Andrew.
It sure is, and the crowd goes wild.
They do. They understand what they're watching. Knowledgeable crowd here in Rome, prepared to make plenty of noise and get behind their countrywoman here, Marcella Tonioli, and into the final end here, and it will be Tonioli who will shoot first again, and that may help her because it means that she can build a platform that Sonicson will then have to respond to with her arrows. So it's as if the scores were back to 0, and it's whoever wins this end who will take the match and go through to the semi-finals.
Marcella shooting first in the 5th. And that's a 10 for Marcella Tonioli.
Doing what's required. Sara Sonicson also with a 10.
Tied with 2 hours to go. this is going to be a very close match.
Yeah, we could be into a shoot-off here if nothing can separate these two archers. And right on the line for Tonioli. She squeaked in with another 10.
Yeah, it was called a 9 earlier, but it's got a 10. The score is tied with 1 error to go. Could we be heading for a shoot-off?
Who's going to blink first? Tonioli with a 9.
The door's open.
10 to win.
The door is open for Sara Sonicson. A 10 to go through to the semi-finals. She's done it!
It is a 10. The world number 1 is on a roll. She's taken out Tonioli, the home favourite and the defending champion, is out. Sonicson of Denmark books the last of the semi-final places. She'll meet teammate Tanya Jensen next, and maybe, just maybe, there's a chance of a first World Cup final title for Sara Sonicson of Denmark.
Well, that means it's 4 out of 4. I picked the 4 archers to go through the semi-finals. I picked Sara Lopez, Yashin Bostan, Tanya Jensen, and Sara Sonicson.
Absolutely, you predicted those correctly, Andrew. I think each of those matches probably going with form. You would say that the higher ranked archer and the archer with the best record in the season so far taking the win.
So, I suppose it is time for the semi-finals.
Absolutely, we'll have some entertainment out here on the field of play as the archers catch their breath here at the Estadio del Marmi in the centre of Rome. 4 fantastic quarterfinals that you've just seen, and it will be the semi-finals very shortly. The semi-final lineup will be Lopez of Colombia versus Bostan of Turkey, and then the other semi-final, an all-Danish affair between Jensen and Sonicson.
Wow, check it out.
Thank you very much to the dancers of the Sport Management Group indeed.
Vediamo le ragazze dello Sport Management Group.
And now it's time for the semi-finals now.
That's right, the cheerleaders have done their thing on the field of play, and the Roman Guard are walking Yashin Bostan out for the semis.
Yeah, Yashin Bostan is actually on target number 1. It's a good thing I spotted that.
On target number 1.
Seeded 6th after qualifying. Here's Yashin Bostan, ranked 8th in the world.
So she took out Sarah Priels of Belgium in the quarters to book her place here in the semi-finals.
And she will face my favorite archer in women's compound, Sara Lopez from Colombia.
Yeah, this will be a real test for Bostan. She started so brilliantly in her match, Andrew, with 9 straight 10s, Bostan, and she'll need to do something similar against Lopez, won't she?
Yeah. Sara Lopez took out Miss Chen in the quarterfinals. Sara Lopez ranked number 2 in the world.
Another favourite in the crowd is Sara Lopez. As the Roman Guard leave the field in the background there, and our line judge, as he has been all morning, is Alexandra Vecchio.
And Sara Lopez is the archer who will go through to the gold medal final, hopefully, for me. because I'm hoping to see that Sara Lopez, she can get her 3rd World Cup final title. Can she do it this year? That's a possibility. And we're now underway with our semi-final match number 1. And it'll be Sara Lopez to shoot first on target 2.
In her first match, she started with a 9, which she didn't look too happy with. And
And
another
she started
9.
with a 9 in the semi-final.
Sakin.
So there's an opening for Yeşim Bostan. X. She's on fire.
Opening up with a maximum. As she
Muy bien.
And there's a 10 for Lopez.
Hadi güzelim. Güzel. 9 solda.
9. So that means the scores are level.
Saat 9
19 points each.
So no repeat of the perfect start for Bostan in this semi-final. And 28 points for Lopez.
Could be upgraded to 29.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be, doesn't it?
So a 10 to keep level. A 9 will give Sara a 1 point lead. And it is a 9. So it is a 1 point lead for Sara Lopez.
So Yeşim Bostan of Turkey, 22 years of age, as is Sara Lopez of Colombia.
Ne düşünüyorsun?
Yeşim Bostan was born on the 24th of May, and Sara Lopez is born on the 24th of April. So both archers are both born on day 24 of each month.
Very close in age, and it's striking though, isn't it, how much more Lopez has accomplished with her early career here. You know, just 22 years old, but she was the world #1 for a record amount of time before Songshin took it away from her, but she's back on form here and looking in good shape already for this semi-final, as Bostan will get us underway.
On target 1.
Bravo.
A
Sağda
10
yukarıda, saat 2
for
önünde.
Yeşim
Çizgiye
Bostan.
yakın.
Muy bien, muy bien. La izquierda sigue todavía.
Oh, that's just out. So that means we're level again.
Little adjustments for Lopez to her bow.
Bravo be.
Back-to-back 10s.
Bostan gets another 10. And those adjustments pay off for Lopez as she
Scores are level with 10 hours to go.
Yeah. Onu net. 9.
Oh, a 9 for Yeşim Bostan.
Net onu.
She may have given that point back.
Bien, bien, bien.
Oh,
10 for Lopez as well. So 29 points for both archers. So the lead is still a single point.
58-57.
Being a factor in there as well. So official arrow values for Yeşim Bostan as we await for official target judge assessment.
And forgot to mention this. This year, Sara Lopez, she won a gold medal in China, and she took a bronze medal in Antalya, and another bronze medal in Salt Lake City.
Ya, vermedi ya.
And she didn't compete in Berlin, Germany, but she won the World Games in Wrocław.
That's right. So she's looking for a complete set of medals for the year. Remember, we've got the World Championships coming up
In Mexico City.
in a few weeks' time. And a lot of these archers will be shooting there as well and hoping for great things. But now
Hang
the
on.
focus returns to Rome.
Hang on, the score is tied, so it's Sara to shoot first. So the art was upgraded for Yeşim Bostan.
Well noticed.
Tiempo. 8, 7.
Oh, The wind is really blowing now. 5 seconds to go for Sara Lopez. She didn't look happy. It's a 9, just out. Looks back at her coach. And Yashin Bostan grabs the lead after 7 arrows.
Just a gust of wind, wasn't there, while Lopez shot her first arrow, and it appeared to die back down again for the Turkish archer's arrow.
Uncharacteristic for Sara Lopez. Back-to-back 9s.
Sakin. Yes.
And another 10 for Yashin Bostan.
Isn't she? 2 points now she has.
Yeah, 2-point lead for... Ah, she's back in it. 86 out of 90. So a 9 to keep the 1-point lead. A 10 will give her a 2-point lead. An 8 to keep it level.
9 sağda.
Right,
Oh, it's a 9.
on a 9, right on the...
Olsun, hiç sıkıntı değil. Seviyorum seni.
So that means it's a 1-point lead now for Yashin Bostan. The pendulum swings back.
Yeah, very narrow, the margin. 86 for the Colombian archer, 87 for Bostan of Turkey, and 6 arrows remaining for each archer. You have favoured Lopez all the way. So far, are you still confident?
Yeah, still very, very, very confident. She has to come back and win this match and go through to the gold medal final.
So Bostan defeated Priels in the quarterfinals, 143 to 139, and actually that's 3 points lower than Lopez's score in the match against Chen. Lopez got 146 there. So
and Miss Chen got 141. So Lopez to go first, and it's a 10, right on the line.
Güçlü ol. Bravo.
10, that's on the X-ring. So that means the score is still a 1-point lead for Yashin Bostan. Oh, sorry, I think I jinxed her.
So all the arrows in the gold for both these archers so far, but we know they're both capable of finding the 8 or indeed the 7 in Bostan's case, as she did with her final arrow of the last match, even though she won.
So now she has a 2-point lead with 4 arrows remaining. Yep, 10 for Lopez. So a 9 to keep a 1-point lead. A 10 will give her a 2-point lead, and it is a 2-point lead.
Perfect end with her last 3 arrows for Yashin Bostan of Turkey.
Triple X.
17 points for...
Uh-huh.
Building that momentum in the initial matchup, and she takes that with her. And now
Hadi güzelim, son 3 ok.
Lopez of Colombia, 117 to 115. That's a 2-point gap.
So down to the final 3 arrows of this match, Andrew. And your girl in a little bit of trouble. 2 points to make up on Bostan, who is shooting brilliantly.
Uh-huh. So it looks like Sara has to come back. 3 10s for Sara Lopez, and 2 9s and a 10 for Yashin Bostan. And we will have a shoot-off, right?
Absolutely.
There's the first 10 for Lopez.
She needs all 10s here. And Bostan very, very strong and composed with a 10 of her own.
So it's a 2-point lead with 2 hours to go. Back-to-back 10s.
Doing everything she can, Lopez, to claw back this 2-point disadvantage. Putting the pressure
9
on Bostan, who...
So it's a 1-point game with 1 hour to go. Yes! That's all she can do.
10s for Sara Lopez, exactly, which puts
A little
extreme
on
pressure.
Yashin Bostan. 10 to win, a 9 to force a shoot-off. No.
And it is a 9.
Up.
Stan, 145 points for her and 145 for Sara Lopez. We have a shoot-off, Andrew.
Yeah, it's our first shoot-off of the weekend.
Just what the crowd want.
Yeah.
Going into shoot-off territory.
And that was exactly what I wanted as well. 3 10s for Yashin Bostan and 2 9s and 10 for Yashin Bostan.
Now here's something interesting in terms of tie breaks. Let's look at the record of the two archers. Bostan has had 3 tie-break wins, but only won 50% of the tie breaks that she's faced.
Ah.
Now, Sara Lopez also has 3 tie-break wins to her name, but she's faced more of them, only 43% in terms of her conversion rate. So, if you were just looking statistically at the shoot-offs now, you would favour Bostan slightly ahead of the world number 2. Now, that's all on paper, and we're out here in the pressure situation of the stadium itself. It's about Lopez all match long. Can she do it?
Yeah. So 1 arrow closest to the center will go through to the gold medal final. Isn't that right, Stephen?
That's right. A place in that gold medal match at stake. Both archers really, really want this now. You can see they both look extremely determined. And Lopez will
looks up to
begin.
the sky.
As she so often does.
A big breath. Here we go. Ooh, the door is wide open for Yashin Bostan.
Do you think?
If she gets in the X, she goes through to the gold medal final. Long hold. Very long hold. Only 5 seconds left on the clock.
It's away.
No!
It's a 9.
Sara Lopez goes through to the gold medal final.
Amazing shooting. She was behind with the last 3 arrows, and she clawed back a 2-point disadvantage. But Sara Lopez has taken this match now on a shoot-off from Yashin Bostan. Bostan will shoot for bronze later on, but into the gold medal match will be Sara Lopez of Colombia, the world number 2, right back on form here in Rome.
What a match!
So can you imagine how Lopez must be feeling right now? She was behind and then she took it with the last arrow.
Unbelievable!
So Bostan's chances of taking the World Championship, the World Cup title here end, but she will shoot again in the bronze medal match, which will follow almost immediately after our second semi-final, and that's a tasty one as well, isn't it, Andrew?
2 Danish archers. Well, there will be no one to coach for either of these 2 archers. I think Martin Damsbo might be coaching both of the Danish archers.
So you've got in these 2 archers just coming up, Sonicson and Jensen, you've got the world number 1 and the world number 9 facing each other. Jensen, the world youth champion and the indoor champion as well.
Well, Sara Lopez got through to the gold medal final, and she will compete for her 3rd World Cup final title.
Amazing.
But who will she face?
So this will be the match to decide that.
It's a match between the 2 Danish archers.
That's right, working onto the field of play first and shooting on target number 1.
It'll be ranked number 1 in the world, Sara Sonicson.
There she goes, target number 1. She beat the defending champion Marcella Tonioli by a single point in the quarterfinals.
141.
Looking relaxed now, and she has Martin Damsbo in the coach's box behind her.
And her opponents. Joining us now on the
These two archers know each other very well, of course, shooting for the same country. Denmark had such a lot of success in compound archery in men's and women's competition this season. So a high standard match in progress.
Tanya Jensen.
On target number 2 in the red and white uniform of Denmark, acknowledges the crowd, the world. Number 9, who defeated Andrea Markos, also by a single point in her quarterfinal match, 147 to 146. So,
I noticed something. This is actually a rematch of the 2015 Youth World Championships.
There will be a Danish archer in the gold medal match, but also
which ended in victory for Jensen, if I'm not mistaken. So
that's right.
Do you think Sonicson now, with all of her momentum in this season, can win this match, or do you think Jensen can hold her off one more time?
I'm not sure. This is going to be a very, 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 very tough match.
Went down to a shoot-off in the last one between Bostan and Lopez. We can have another shoot-off situation at the end of this match too, Andrew.
And I think it's going to be Tanya Jensen to go first.
That's right, on target number 2. Her first arrow is away, and she begins with a 9.
There's an opening for Sara Sonicson now. She takes advantage with an X.
Amazing, isn't it? Even at this early stage, those little points here and there can make such a difference.
Oh, another 9 for Miss Jensen. And a 9 for Sonicson.
So a little let off.
So it's still a 1-point lead with 13 arrows to go. Oh, that's on the X for Tanya Jensen. So a 10 to keep the lead, a 9 to keep it level, and it is a 10.
29 for Sonicson, 28 for Jensen.
So it's a 1-point game. And if my memory serves me correct, that Sara Sonicson actually won the gold medal in Antalya, where she defeated Tanya Jensen.
At stage 2, you're right. And Sonicson's World Cup stage record this year is pretty unsurpassed, actually. In Shanghai, she had a silver medal. In Antalya, a gold, as you say. In Salt Lake, it was silver. And Berlin was a
gold medal.
Indeed, it was. And that makes 10 World Cup stage medals for Sonicson, even at this early age in her career, just 21 years of age. And both these archers, very, very impressive. And Jensen just a point behind, but looking
get us
to
underway on target 2.
Get back into this match.
Oh, that is on the X ring. She'll be very happy with that.
That is the way to start, absolutely.
Ooh, barely got it in there.
Still, the lead is 1.
9 at the top for Tanya Jensen. She won't be happy with that one.
No, not finding the groupings that she had on the other target.
Oh, and there's a 9 for Sonicson, so it's still a 1-point game. Very close match between the 2 Danish archers.
It's difficult to tell, but it appears windier at the target end of the
An X for
field
Tanya
of play.
Jensen. So a 10 to keep the lead. Nope, it's an 8.
So Sonicson really running out of time on that last shot. Actually, you can hear the buzzer go just as that arrow landed in the 8. So she has 27, which takes her to 56 points. And 2 X's and a 9 for Tanya Jensen means she's now in the lead, 57 points to 56.
Oh yeah, so that means the pendulum swings back. Wow, this is going to be a very close match.
So both of these archers have appeared twice in World Cups as individual competitors, so their second World Cup final appearance for each of them. And
Oh yeah,
they've had plenty of experience this season of medal matches through the stages of the World Cup, so they'll be familiar with the crowds and the intensity and the pressure,
Oh
won't they?
yeah, the reason that you said that Tanya Jensen second appearance in the World Cup final is because she took a mixed team gold medal with Stefan Hansen in Odense.
Stærkt skud. Lige mod midten. Arbejd med det. Ikke lige lav.
So
It's a 9.
a 9.
Ooh, very low line there. She won't be happy.
No, some adjustments may be needed for Sonicson. And a
9, 9 for Tanya Jensen.
Stærkt skud. Fuld fokus. Yep.
There's 10. She's right back in it.
Jensen, a 9 will tie up the scores, but she'll want a 10 to maintain her advantage.
Og så tid 8 sekunder. 7, 6, 5.
And guess what? It's not going to happen. It's tied.
Fint, du giver dig tiden til det. Du strækker ned maven. Lige mod midten. Arbejd. Yep.
Oh, a very good 10 for Sara Lopez to put a little pressure on Tanya Jensen.
That's right, she'll need a 10 now to level the scores. Can she get it? And
Yes,
she
she
does.
can. Spotter say it's a 9, but it is a 10 now.
So 2 9s and a 10. And an important 10 with that last arrow of that end, Andrew. There was a lot of pressure on her there.
Uh-huh. So it's 85 points apiece.
Sonicson there, the silver medalist from Odense at last year's World Cup.
Where she lost to Marcella Tonioli.
Yeah, just on a shoot-off. And she'll be hoping that she can come past her teammate Jensen there for another shot at gold, but it's by far from a foregone conclusion because Jensen is shooting very, very well.
Uh-huh, she sure is. She won the Indoor World Cup final in Las Vegas in February. She beat Andrea Markos that time.
And actually in that match earlier today when she beat Markos outside here in Rome, she scored 147 points, which is the highest.
That opens the door.
It certainly does.
Can Sara take advantage?
Oh,
Yes, she does. 1 point lead for Sara Sonicson with 5 arrows to go. Here's 10, she's back in it.
A little nod to herself.
Mm-hmm.
Jensen.
Yeah, it's a 10 for Sara Sonicson, so it's still a 1 point lead with only 4 arrows remaining.
Jensen needs another 10. Oh, and she's on the line.
That could be upgraded.
It certainly could. Difficult to tell from this angle.
So a 10 to keep the lead, and 9 will keep it level, possibly. It's a 9. So now we have to wait, see what the judges say about last arrow from Tanya Jensen.
Yeah, it's a feature of this sport whereby the judges have the final say on any of the arrows that go into the target face, and it creates these situations where the crowd kind of have to hold their breath a little bit and wait for arrows to be upgraded or not. And in this case, if they are, it could be really crucial. And in fact, Andrew, I think you can see that it has gone up there to mean that the scores are completely level on 114 points, and each archer now has 3 arrows to try and claim the match.
Yeah, 3 more arrows, very close match. I wonder if we could be heading for another shoot-off.
I wouldn't bet against it at this stage, certainly. And another reason why is that Jensen is shooting first now, and she has the chance to build a lead rather than trying to chase one.
Let's find out. Tanya shooting first in the 5th with a 10. She's back on form.
Yep.
10. Score is tied with 2 hours remaining. Close match.
X
10 on the X ring.
Bare gør ned i maven.
Oh my goodness. Score is tied with 1 hour to go.
And the arrows almost identical on the target faces too. So here's
Could we be heading for a shoot-off?
Jensen's last arrow is a 10.
Unbelievable.
Real pressure now on the world number 1. Needs a 10 to take this to a shoot-off. Otherwise, the gold medal chance is gone. Oh, and it is a 10.
Well, can you believe this?
Another shoot-off here at the Estadio del Marmi in Rome. 3 perfect arrows for each of the 2 Danish archers. Nothing to separate them. And it means, Andrew, we have another dramatic single arrow shoot-off to decide who goes through into the gold medal match.
Against Sara Lopez, and who will be facing Yashin Bostan for the bronze final.
So Bostan and Lopez needed a shoot-off to decide that match, and we're in shoot-off territory again here. So the target faces will be replaced. 50 meters the distance. 1 arrow remaining. 10 the maximum score. The closest to the center will go through to shoot for gold against Lopez. Will it be Jensen of Denmark,
the indoor World Cup champion, or will it be the world-ranked #1 archer in women's combine, Sara Sonicson? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't like to predict the outcome, actually. I was incredibly struck by how cool and calm Jensen was with those last 3 arrows to take it to 144. And it's just going to be millimeters that separate these 2 archers, isn't it?
Uh-huh. So here we go for our second shoot-off between the 2 best Danish archers in the world. And the heartbeat is getting there.
Let's go.
So Tanya Jensen getting ready to shoot first. Many think that that's an advantage.
Wow.
Wow. That puts a lot of pressure on Sara Sonicson. She needs an X to go through to the gold medal final. Can she do it? No! That's going to be a very close call.
We have a shock here in Rome in the World Cup.
Can you believe what I just saw? Unbelievable!
An embrace.
Tanya Jensen has done it!
The 2 archers and their coaches embrace, but Tanya Jensen, 22 years of age, ranked #9 in the world, the indoor World Cup champion, now has a chance to shoot for the outdoor title. She raises her bow into the air in celebration. She is through to the gold medal match, and it will be Sonicson, disappointed, who will be shooting for bronze. No chance at the World Cup title for her in 2017.
Unbelievable!
Yeah, that really was very, very dramatic. I would not have anticipated that at the start of this match. I thought Sonicson would have enough to get past Jensen, and they were so, so close, and absolutely huge admiration for Jensen to hold off the world #1 there, maintain her cool. That final arrow almost dead center of the target.
Haha, it sure is.
So it will be a Jensen-Lopez final.
And Sonicson versus Bostan. And interesting about the bronze medal match between Sonicson and Bostan, it will be a rematch of the semi-final in Odense, and of course the rematch of the gold medal match in Berlin. Wow, what a match that was.
So a little pause in proceedings while the cheerleaders entertain the crowd. A little chance for the archers behind the scenes to take a breather. Sorensen does have another shot at gold in the mixed team event, which will be our last match of the morning session.
With Stefan Hansen.
Exactly, he'll be shooting later on for gold in the men's individual competition, just proving how strong.
And there's Demir Amaatse from Turkey. He will be in the men's competition later on this afternoon.
That's right, and I was really impressed with him in Berlin, actually, defeating Hansen in that gold medal match in the final stage. He shot absolutely brilliantly against the world #1, so that's a tasty little potential match-up for this afternoon. But it's now time to focus on the bronze medal match as the judge and coaches return to the field.
Yeah, it'll be Sara Sonicson versus Yashin Bostan for bronze. Bit of quite a surprise for Sara Sonicson to be in the bronze medal match where she should have been in the gold medal match.
Absolutely, she defeated Marcella Tognoli in the first round and
lost to Tanya Jensen in the semi-finals.
Just on a shoot-off, which you'd just seen.
Here we go, bronze medal match for the women's combined category.
And immediately back onto the field of play and having to raise her game after the disappointment of that semi-final defeat to Jensen. This will be a test of her ability and her mental toughness to see if she can come through this match now against Bostan of Turkey. She'll be shooting on target #1 again. Maybe that will be a slight advantage to shoot straight back into the target that she was using in the last match, but you can see that not the smile that you're accustomed to see on the face of Sara Sonicson, looking down at the ground, politely acknowledging the crowd. She knows that a chance has slipped away here, and that is what will characterize this match with Bostan, who will be very, very happy to be in with a chance of a medal. And so you might think that she's got a little bit more momentum going into this match, Andrew. And it could be Bostan with another upset.
Yeah, Sara Sonicson defeated Marcella Tognoli this morning, 142 to 141. Then lost to Tanya Jensen. And now here's Yashin Bostan, ranked 8th in the world. She defeated Sarah Priels, 143 to 139. And then lost in the shoot-off to Sara Lopez. By the way, Yashin Bostan lost the bronze medal last year to Crystal Galvin.
That's right, it's another bronze medal match appearance for Bostan. 2 World Cup final appearances for the Turkish archer and 2 shots at the bronze medal. She couldn't quite make it last year in Odense, but she's got a chance to do it again here.
Yeah, and this is a rematch of the 2016 World Cup semi-final and also the 2017 Hyundai Archery World Cup in Berlin for the gold final. So Yashin Bostan doesn't want to miss out on the bronze medal again, right?
Absolutely, and she'll be shooting first in this match on target 2.
With a 10.
Perfect opening.
Good start. X, dead center. Wonderful shot.
This might be a situation where Sonicson feels she just has to get this job done now. Shrug off the disappointment of the last match.
10. 2 in a row for Yashin Bostan. Great shooting. Oh, so she's a point behind. Uncharacteristic of Sara Sonicson.
Bostan went 9 arrows straight with 10s in her first match.
With 3 10s to start the match. Wow, perfect score. Okay, so it's a 1-point game for Yashin Bostan, 29 to 30.
It's down to Martin Damsbo, Sonicson's coach, here in the corner to try to raise her game. Serious for the Danes, but actually smiles for the Turkish team there, as you see Bostan looking very, very relaxed. Damsbo smiling, and he'll be trying to take some of the tension out of the shoulders of Sara Sonicsen and say to her, you've got this, you've been here before, you know how to win. Leave the bad shots and the bad matches behind you, focus on what's in front. And that's what she needs to do, and she will shoot first in this second end on target number 1. Andrew, in these early exchanges, do you think it will be Bostan or Sonicsen who takes the bronze?
Hopefully, Sara Sonicsen, if she comes back, she will be shooting first in this match. Let's find out. Oh, you can feel the wind start to pick up here.
Absolutely, it's a huge blast of wind that rocks our commentary position. Can't think what it's doing to Sonicsen on the line. Still as a statue, and a brilliant 9 under those conditions.
9, very good shot there. Very long hold.
Worth it though. On the line between 9 and 10, so 4 perfect arrows for the Turkish archer.
Yeah, she has not missed yet. Oh, uncharacteristic shot for Sonicsen, an 8. That opens the door for Yeşim Bostan.
Certainly does. And she walks right through it with another 10.
5 in a row.
26 for Sonicsen with those 3 arrows, 55 points. Bostan a chance to open up a massive lead here now.
Can she make it 6 in a row?
Right on the line. I think that's touching. I think that's another 10, Andrew.
Yeah. Spotters are calling it a 9.
They are, and they can see it more clearly than we can with the magnification they've got on their screens. So,
oh, now they've put the asterisk up by that 9.
Yeah, they have, and we'll need to watch that. The Turkish coach there having a look with his spotting scope. He'll know what he thinks it is. I'm pretty sure that we'll see that go to a 10 and see Bostan on a perfect 60 so far, which would be huge.
And Yeşim Bostan does not.
Wow. It didn't look like that from here, did it?
Yeah.
So 59 for Yeşim Bostan.
So that streak ends at 5.
4 points the lead for Sonicsen. She's come back from worse, but this is a test.
Remember, she had 9 straight 10s in the quarterfinals.
The wind gusting again, but it's a 10.
A 10 for Sonicsen. Oh, that gives a point back. It's a 3-point lead. Oh, she may have given it back, doesn't she?
Looking inconsistent with her arrows, the world number 1.
Oh, it's a 9 still. A 3-point lead. Oh, good 10 for Sonicsen. Put a little bit of pressure on Yeşim Bostan.
Yeah, she needs a 10 to stay 3 ahead.
An 8 will give her the lead. It's a 10, just on the X-ray. Oh, nearly dead center with that shot.
Great shot from Bostan. I mean, you've got the world number 1 breathing down your neck. You know you've got a bit of a lead, but you want to maintain it as much as you can. And after 3 ends, it is Bostan of Turkey on 87 points, 3 ahead of the world number 1, who has 84.
Yes, 3-point lead. We could be watching a big surprise.
Yeah, another surprise. I mean, I think we were taken by surprise in the last match where Jensen emerged victorious. A lot of people expecting Sonicsen to win that match, but she didn't, ending her hopes of a gold medal here. But interestingly, Bostan scoring very consistently, also has the highest score out of these two archers across the matches that we've seen this morning, 145 points. And you think she's going to need all of those sorts of points.
We'll see as we find out. Oh, a 10 for Sonicson. She's right back in it. So she needs a 10. Oh, oh, she gives one back, so the lead is down to 2. Oh, she didn't like that shot.
Each time you think Sonicson is building some momentum, and the next shot's not quite as good as the one before.
Oh, the lead stays at 2 with 4 hours remaining. X.
That's what she needed. So
that puts a lot of pressure on Yashin Bostan. So an 8 to stay level, a 9 will keep the lead. A 10 will give the lead to 2. Oh my goodness! It's a 1-point game.
yeah, Bostan knows that she's given up quite an advantage. She still has 1 point on Sonicson, but with 3 arrows remaining, the Danish archer creeping slowly, inexorably, perhaps inevitably towards victory in this match. And actually, Bostan of Turkey now needs to really, really dig deep to maintain her lead if she's going to come away with a bronze medal here. Bostan maybe will, in the back of her mind, have last year's match where she lost out in the bronze medal match and emerged with 4th. She doesn't want that to happen to her again.
Yeah.
Sonicson, who's been behind in this match for most of it, will shoot first again on target number 1. A possible advantage to her to build, whereas Bostan will have to chase.
Oh,
not the start she wanted, though.
Nope. That opens the door wide.
What price of 10 here for Bostan? Oh, she finds it.
Yes.
Back to 2.
2-point lead with 2 hours to go. Yep, it's a 10 for Sonicson. So, and it will keep it level.
So 1 more, it's a 9, the lead's back to 1.
Oh, 1 hour to go, 1 point difference.
Sonicson must land a 10 here, you think?
She
and
does.
she does, yeah.
The door is wide open at 10 to win for Yashin Bostan. She came 4th last year in Odense, and she came 3rd in Rome. Yashin Bostan wins bronze.
A 10 with her final arrow, and an embrace with her coach for Yashin Bostan of Turkey. As you said, Andrew, a 4th place in Odense last year, and now she's gone 1 better. She will have a medal round her neck here in Rome. She embraces Sara Sonicson, who will be disappointed with the end of her World Cup season. But Yashin Bostan
this year, Sara Sonicson.
Yashin Bostan takes the bronze medal here in Rome in the 2017 Hyundai Archery World Cup.
Unbelievable. Congratulations, Yashin Bostan.
Yeah, that was a remarkable victory, and one that Sara Sonicson will want to forget but also want to learn from, because she was clearly very disappointed at the beginning of that match. You could see it on her face as she stood on the shooting line waiting to begin. She was carrying with her the disappointment of losing to Jensen in the semi-finals, and she just couldn't really hook 2 brilliant arrows together, could she?
Okay, this is it. It's the combined women's individual gold medal match. And it will feature Tanya Jensen of Denmark, the indoor World Cup champion, where she's hoping to become an outdoor World Cup champion, and Sara Lopez from Colombia, my favorite archer in women's combine.
Yeah, you've been cheering for her all morning, Andrew, and your knowledge of the sport has been really, really interesting to listen to as we've been sat together here watching these matches, and Lopez and Jensen in the final together. You'll be hoping for Lopez, but do you think Jensen now, with all that confidence, do you think she can do it?
I wonder. And there's the judge and coaches for a final match of the women's combine of the Hyundai Archery World Cup 2017.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Okay.
Here we go.
This is it. The final match of the women's combine. And here's Tanya Jensen, ranked 9th in the world, 61 match wins in her career, and her event average 9.58. And there's Martin Damsler in the coach's box. And her challenger for women's combine will be the world-ranked number 2 in women's combine. My favorite archer, Sara Lopez from Colombia. She's ranked number 2 in the world. match wins in her career, 9.74 event average. And she won the 2014 World Cup in Lausanne, and she won the 2015 Archery World Cup in Mexico City. And there's the line judge for the match, Alexandra Vecchio. Tanya Jensen looking for an outdoor World Cup champion as well as her indoor.
That's right. I'm not going to predict this one because I think this is going to be epic.
Yeah. Tanya Jensen beat Sara Lopez in the semi-finals in Antalya, and Sara Lopez beat Tanya Jensen in the quarterfinals in Salt Lake City.
It was actually Jensen who ended Lopez's long streak of unbeaten matches.
And she starts with a 9. It's an opening for Tanya Jensen to take the lead here. Long hold. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. But she got a 10. She grabs the lead early on. Ooh, back-to-back 9s for Lopez. She won't be happy.
That's an unusual start for Lopez.
Oh, and a 9 for Tanya Jensen.
Yeah, the wind taking that arrow further off to the right-hand side. So 3 9s.
Straight 9s for Lopez. She won't be happy at all. So a 9 to keep the lead. A 10 will give her a 2-point lead. Not quite. It's an 8.
So Jensen with 27 as well. So
yeah.
But Jensen.
So we're right back where we started.
Absolutely, but Jensen the only archer there to find the 10. So she's found it first, and maybe that will give her encouragement for the next 3 arrows as they come along. Scores confirmed, 27 for Jensen of Denmark. A surprise winner over her teammate Sonicson in the semi-finals.
And she beat Andrea Markos in the quarterfinals as well, 147 to 146. Sara defeated Chen Yixun in the quarterfinals, and then she defeated Yashin Bostan in a shoot-off. Can she win the World Cup finals in Rome. It will be her 3rd World Cup title. Oh, there's her first 10 of the match. Oh, and a 10 for Yushin Bosan. I mean, Tanya Jensen. Score is tied. Back-to-back 10s for Lopez.
Yep, she's found her range now. Looking confident, as is Jensen. Another 10 for her.
So the scores are level. Very close match. Ooh.
On the line between 8 and a 9. That
It's
will
inside the
certainly
line.
be upgraded, won't it? 29 points the score.
It's inside the line.
Yeah. Oh,
And it!
yeah.
And it!
You can
Can
see
you believe that?
you can see a little gap there between the arrow and the line itself. So
Pendulum spins back. It's Sara Lopez who has a 1-point lead, 55, 56.
yeah, so that means Jensen will shoot first in the 3rd end to try to claw back that 1 point that she's just given away with that loose 8 arrow.
Yeah. And out of those two archers are in the gold medal match, I'm thinking that this year I would go for Sara Lopez. I want to see her win her 3rd World Cup final title.
That would be quite something at just
22 years old. And it will be Tanya Jensen to get us underway on target 1. Ooh, another 8 for her.
yeah, and
A little bit of surprise from her.
she just slumps slightly there in surprise and frustration.
Oh, that's
9 for Lopez. 10 on the scoreboard.
now it's a
Now
9 with
showing
an
a 9.
asterisk.
Yeah.
9 with an asterisk. There's 10. She's back on it. Good shot. 10. She's right back on it.
2 points the advantage now for Lopez.
Needs a 10 here. And she got it. That puts a lot of pressure on Sara Lopez.
She's equal to it though, 85 points for Lopez. She opens up a 2-point lead now over Jensen of Denmark.
It could be upgraded to 86. It might be a 3-point lead for Sara Lopez.
That would be very, very useful for her after 3 ends in this gold medal match, as each archer bidding to be the World Cup champion here of 2017 in Rome. Beautiful, beautiful setting. Slight.
And we got a perfect score. It is 86.
So 3 10s for Lopez, including an X with her last arrow. 86 points for her and 83 for Tanya Jensen of Denmark. 3 points the lead for Lopez, and she doesn't often give leads like that away, does she?
Uh-huh. So it will be Tanya Jensen to lead off in end number 4 with a 10.
Terrific start.
That puts a lot of pressure. 9. That does give a point back. It's a 2-point lead. 5 errors to go. Ooh. Uncharacteristic shot for Tanya Jensen. Agree?
Happy.
And so is Sara Lopez. 9. That's just barely out.
dropping 3 points with those arrows. Jensen, 110 for her, 115 for Lopez. She now has a 5-point lead, commanding as she goes into the final end of action. Andrea, the Colombian archer, looking very, very strong.
Yep, she sure is. And she is the girl that I'm hoping to win the World Cup finals. It may be on her way. It might happen.
So Lopez. See a gold in Shanghai.
And number 5, Tanya Jensen shoots first.
Quite the return that she would expect as the former '1 in the world. But
okay, here we go. Final 3 arrows to decide the World Cup champion.
10s will do for Tanya Jensen.
8.
Not so. Oh, on the spider. She's well on her way. 2 remaining. 10. Good shot for Tanya Jensen.
Equally good shot from Lopez.
Final arrows.
Finishes strong.
This is strong. So she needs a hit to win to go through to the gold. I believe it! Sara Lopez has won her 3rd World Cup final!
Done it. She's still down to number 2 in the world ranking. She took medals at all 3 stages in which she competed in 2017 in this season, but became World Games champion in Wrocław in Poland, and now she is the 2017 Hyundai Archery World Cup champion, her 3rd title.
Unbelievable! She won in 2014 in Lausanne, she won in 2015 in Mexico City, and now she wins Italy.
That's see how much it means to her. She was fantastic season that Sonnichsen has had. It end up as a face-off between the 1 and 2 archers in the world, and a few little tears there for Sara Lopez as she walks from the field of play. Congratulations, Tanya Jensen, but the gold medal and the World Cup title goes to Colombia.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that match, Andrew?
I'm so happy. I'm so thrilled. Sara Lopez in Rome makes me so happy. Maybe after the victory ceremony, I would congratulate Sara Lopez when I finish doing the commentating.
I'm sure she'd love to see you and share her victory. Share the gold medal, Andrew. I don't know, but that would be something, wouldn't it? Get into that medal ceremony.
The mixed team event.
My favorite of all the events that we shoot here in archery. I love to see the men.
Here we go, our final match for the morning. And walking onto the field of play will be the team of Denmark.
Now the pressure of the individual competition is done for Sara Sonnichsen. There's a slight smile on her face.
It's Hansen.
Exactly, she doesn't have to shoulder all of the responsibility for this medal on her. They stood next to Steph. World #1 in individual competition. And so 2 world #1s stood. Denmark, they will be tough opponents for the home team here in a moment or two.
And Stefan Hansen is the current world champion of 2015 in Copenhagen.
But I have something to say about
It's Irene Franch and the para archer Alberto Simonelli.
So Franchini, a 2016 world field champion, and Simonelli, 11 Paralympic silver, 2008 and last year in Rio, and home advantage for the Italian archers, which
Here's the line judge for this match. And Alberto Simonelli is a para archer. I know he won the silver medal in Rio last year, where he lost to Andrea Shelby in Rio Paralympics. I did remember that.
so Italy get us underway.
Maybe Irene Franchini to go first. There's a 9 for Irene. And now Alberto Simonelli, 50 years old.
Ends. Match is played over 4 ends, rather like sets in tennis. Each end has 4 maximum of 160 points available. After first in the next end. Scores are tied after 4 ends. There'll be a shoot-off where each archer.
That was a 9 for Stefan Hansen.
Yep,
And a 10 for Sonicsen. So Denmark with an early lead. There's an 8 for Irena.
Italy. For the Italians, 35.
It's a 9 for. So here's Stefan Hansen, ranked #1 in the world, 22 years old, World Cup world champion in 2015 in Copenhagen.
Yep.
Yes, on.
End #1, a different format indeed, as 2 archers take turns here, 4 arrows per end for a total of 16 arrows. As Team Denmark, made up of Sara Lopez and Stefan Hansen, clearly the dominating force in the compound mixed team division, leading the way 38-35 after 4 arrows.
cambiano ovviamente le modalità di tiro rispetto alla sfida individuale, 4 frecce per ogni team. Al momento 28 a 35, è confermato dunque la coppia della Danimarca.
Looking at some past accomplishments, of course, for Team Denmark in the mixed team competition, winning Odense 2016 World Cup.
Good test one, two, test one, two, test one, two. Commentary number one. Commentary number one.
So it will be Italy to get us underway on target 2. So they are behind by 3.
So again, Franchini will take aim at the target 50 meters away.
And it's a 10.
So here's Simonelli. Great close-up of the arrow.
And a 9 for Simonelli.
54 so far for Italy. And Hansen here.
Current world champion from Copenhagen. He's hoping to defend his title in Mexico City, won't he?
That's right. I watched that title win for him in Copenhagen as a commentator. It was an amazing performance from him. These two young archers from Denmark, both 22 years old.
And there's a 9 for Sonicson, so the lead is still at 3.
Franchini, 2016 indoor world champion.
Where she beat Albina Loginova. Ah, that's a very good shot for Irena Franchini. Good shot. And now here's Alberto Simonelli. Down to the last 10 seconds on the clock. And it is a 10.
74 for Italy.
That puts a lot of pressure on Denmark, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're capable of resisting that kind of pressure, though. Hansen characteristically so calm on the shooting line. Finds another 10.
Yes, very good shot for Stefan Hansen. So, an 8 will give them the lead. A 7 to keep it level. What can Sonicson do?
Down it goes, and that is a 10 for her. 77 points for Denmark, 74 for Italy. They trail by 3.
It's still at 3.
Around the stadium here, Andrew, there are marvellous Roman god-style statues carved out of stone representing all the sports. Someone like Simonelli, who's been around for all this time and been so successful, you think they might carve a statue out of stone just for him and put it somewhere around this great stadium, because he's a titan of archery and 2 Paralympic silver medals to his name. And what I find so interesting is that mix of youth and experience right on the shooting line together. Simonelli and Franchini for Italy, and then the younger archers from Denmark looking to try and establish their careers in the same way that those 2 Italians have and write their names in history with another mixed team gold medal. They did it in Odense. Can they do it again in Rome?
Oh. There's a 9 for Irena. Oh, and you can hear the wind start to pick up here.
For
Simonelli.
Alberto Simonelli.
Alzare tiden selvom der kommer vind på.
Stefan Hansen now.
Midten i venstre.
Didn't like that shot, but he still got 9 there. And now Sara Sonicson now. And X.
Looks to have shrugged off the disappointment of her individual competition.
That's right. She came 4th against Shim Bostan.
Exactly, shooting for the team now, shooting for her country, which always brings the best out of the Danish archers.
Uncharacteristic shot for Irina.
Down in the 8. A long way off her first shot.
Simonelli was very happy when he released that shot.
He was. 110 now for Italy.
That puts a lot of pressure on Denmark. Stefan Hansen, gold medalist in Shanghai, silver medal in Salt Lake City, and silver medalist in Berlin. And he was actually the gold medalist in Wroclaw, World Games champion. And there's a 10 for Sonicson.
So a 6-point advantage now for Denmark.
Wow.
With 1 end to go. And that means that Italy really, really have got a bit of a mountain to climb here in this final end. Andrew, do you think that they can do it, or do you think that the Danish team can hold on?
I think the Danish team can hold on, because I think the Danish team, they actually, they won the gold medal in Wroclaw this year. They're the World Games champions as well.
So Stefan Hansen there, very relaxed.
Uh-huh.
He'll be out again this afternoon shooting for the individual title, so maybe this little run out here in the compound mixed team event will help him to settle before he shoots this afternoon.
Yep, his first match will be played against Federico Pagnoni.
Simonelli and Franchini, though, shooting first again. This is their only chance of glory today. Guaranteed a silver. They want gold. They need to claw back a big margin in order to do it.
Oh dear, that is not what Irina Franchini wanted. Isn't that right?
No, a little huff from her and a hands on her hip as she stands behind Simonelli. A frown on her face.
There's a 10 for Simonelli.
He's doing all he can to haul back that 5-point disadvantage.
And now we go to Stefan Hansen, #1 in the world. Shooting for an outdoor World Cup title, hopefully this afternoon.
10 for him.
He's very relaxed. An X for Sara Sonicson. So
2 perfect arrows from the Danish team, putting the pressure right back on Italy. 2 arrows left for them in the match.
It's an 8-point lead for Denmark.
Better from Franchini, a 9.
Yeah, that's way better for her. And here is the final arrow for Italy. 10 seconds on the clock. It's a 9 for Simonelli. So
146 is the final score for Italy.
So
Denmark can tie that with the first arrow if they score a 10.
not going to happen.
So anything on the target will win it for Denmark.
Okay, so let's see what happens. Silver medal goes to Italy, and gold medal goes to Denmark.
What an end to the Danish World Cup season. A silver medal at stage 1 in Shanghai, gold in Antalya, bronze in Berlin, and now gold again in the final in Rome. Sara Sonicson and Stefan Hansen of Denmark are the 2017 Hyundai Archery World Cup mixed team champions. And that match, Andrew, going with the form book, the team from Denmark ranked number 2 in the world, and you can see Sara Sonicson very, very relieved now to get a medal of some description round her neck for all of her efforts here in Rome today.
So it looks like now we're going to have the victory ceremony.
That's right, there'll be a little break, but I mean, of the matches that you saw this morning and that you can recall, which was your favourite?
My favorite match for the morning session, it will have to be Tanya Jensen versus Sara Lopez, which I was very, very, very happy that she has won her 3rd World Cup final title.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment in time, we would like to invite you to please stay with us in the venue, as in a few minutes' time we will proceed with our official victory ceremonies. Thank you for your patience.
Tra pochissimo avremo le premiazioni per quanto riguarda la vincitrice con Bob femminile e ovviamente in andiamo a rimanere qua a celebrare con noi tutti i campioni italiani.
So 2 medal ceremonies to come up for you before we say goodbye and finish this morning session. Don't forget, the men's individual competition will be at 3 o'clock local time this afternoon. And we're looking forward to some really, really exciting matches there too. Some fantastic slow motion images to enjoy as well. The action draws to a close here in this morning session, and we'll have our medal presentations very shortly. Beautiful venue here in Rome, the Olympic Stadium, forming the backdrop to our purpose-built modern stadium. It's been thrown up over the last few days here by technicians working really hard behind the scenes, volunteers from the local organising committee making sure that the competition runs smoothly, as they always do. These competitions run on volunteer effort, and we really do appreciate the hard work they put in, and also the smiley welcome that they give the archers and all the crew who come along to these events. We hope you've enjoyed the action this morning. Remember, it's a good way to get in touch on social media. Hashtag WCFRome17 is the hashtag for any of your Twitter action. And if you want to send us a tweet, at World Archery is the one to use. Thank you to all our viewers on the Olympic channel and on Archery TV who've been watching this morning. So Andrew, as a fan of archery, how does this compare with the other events that you've watched around the world? You've been to lots of World Cup finals and lots of other top level events. How does this one compare?
Oh, it's been brilliant so far. I'm glad one of my favorite archers that has won. That was actually the woman I chose that I put that I wrote a comment on Facebook to tell you who I want to win the World Cup final champion for the women's compound. I picked Sara Lopez, and my wish came true.
Absolutely, and she had an interesting route to the final as well. And
but first of all, we have the Longines prize for precision.
that's right, and that goes to an archer who thoroughly deserves the prize, having had a really consistent season, taking the #1 spot for a time and doing herself proud in the process. So stood waiting to receive the Longines prize for precision is Sara Sonicsen of Denmark.
The winner of the Women's Compound Precision Prize for the final stage in Rome, representing Denmark.
La vincitrice del Precision Prize per il compound femminile nella finale di Roma per la Danimarca, Sara Lopez.
Raises her hands to acknowledge the applause from the crowd, a smile on her face. A watch will be her reward, presented to her by Luca Riccardi, the Longines Italy account manager. A lovely prize, but I'm sure she would have preferred the gold medal here in these World Cup finals.
Even though she came 4th this year at the World Cup finals, she still got the Longines prize for precision with the most 10s.
Great effort from Sara Sonicsen, and also a great platform for her for the World Championships in Mexico in a few weeks' time. 4th here, world #1 status. She will be a tough opponent for anyone she faces at the World Championships in South America.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the compound mixed team.
Oh, it's mixed team first.
Yeah, so here we go, the mixed team presentation.
Trophies will be presented by Italian.
So you've just seen them shoot, and now it is the turn of these archers to step forward and take their medals.
Gifts will be presented by Pitarco Vice President.
I regali saranno consegnati dal vicepresidente Pitarco, Franco Spigarelli.
Silver medal, representing Italy.
Medaglia d'argento per l'Italia, Irene Franchini, Alberto Simonelli.
So there we go, the silver medalists from the host nation of Italy, Irene Franchini there, shaking hands and receiving her trophy, as does Alberto Simonelli.
He does look happy.
He does.
Love the trophies.
Yeah, they're very dramatic, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
And now, gold medal, representing Denmark.
Medaglia d'oro per la Danimarca, Sara Sonicsen.
Sara Sonicsen and Stefan Hansen, mixed team World Cup champions.
Terrific result for them. A reward for Sara Sonicsen's hard work this morning, and an early victory for Stefan Hansen, which will do him a lot of good as he seeks the men's individual title later on today.
And now we are going to hear the national anthem of Denmark. Congratulations to the team of Denmark.
Yeah, good shooting from them. They established an early platform and a big lead over Italy, which the Italian team weren't ever capable of clawing back, although they tried. And handshakes all round now on the podium. Good to see.
Especially very disappointed for Sara Sonicson to finish 4th here in Rome.
Yeah, I think she will be disappointed with that 4th, only because her potential promised more than that. And in fact, a 4th place in the World Cup is nothing to be ashamed of at all, and something she should be very, very proud of. And hopefully, once she's slept on it tonight and reflected on it tomorrow, she will be proud of her achievements this season.
Yeah.
And hopefully she can shrug off that slight disappointment of not taking a medal here and put in a strong performance at the World Championships. So the next medal ceremony will be the individual women's compound ceremony. As the presentation party get ready under the archway there that you can see on the left-hand side of the screen. The Roman statues arrayed around the arena, as you can see there in the background, all representing different sporting events. Beautiful Roman scenery in the background, blue sky beyond.
It's time for the victory ceremony for the women's combined category. That features my favorite archer in women's combined. Oh, trophies and checks this time.
That's right, they will be presented by World Archery Executive Board member George Bromkamp. He will come forward with those checks. 5,000 Swiss francs, the prize for 3rd place.
Oh, and there will be a Longines watch as well.
Those gifts will be presented by FIT Arco Secretary General Marcello Tolu of Italy. First of all, the bronze medal and the trophy will go to a delighted Yeşim Bostan of Turkey, 4th last year and now 3rd this year.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah, she defeated Sarah Priels, and then she lost to Sara Lopez, and then she beat Sara Sonicson. She is so happy with her bronze medal.
Yeah, that's a real achievement for her.
Step up for this year.
Absolutely.
Silver medal, representing Denmark.
And our runner-up here with 10,000 Swiss francs coming her way, representing Denmark. Fantastic performance from Tanya Jensen.
Tanya Jensen, who defeated Andrea Markos in the quarterfinals by 1 point. Then she beat Sara Sonicson in a shoot-off, and then she lost to Sara Lopez.
Yeah, that was a great gold medal match for us all to watch here.
It sure was. And that made me so happy.
And now, gold medal, representing Colombia.
And now, it is time for our gold medalist and our World Cup final champion, my favorite archer in women's combine, Sara Lopez.
She still looks a little bit like she can't quite believe it. She's had a bit of a roller coaster of a season. She didn't compete last year.
She defeated Chen Yixun in the quarterfinals, defeated Yeşim Bostan in a shoot-off, and then she defeated Tanya Jensen. She won the World Cup title in 2014 in Lausanne, and she won in 2015 in Mexico City, and also she won in Italy. Her third title in 4 years.
Her hands full there. Sara Lopez, the Longines watch. The gift of the Roman Colosseum.
And this time,
20,000 Swiss francs the prize, but I think she'll really want.
And now we're going to hear the national anthem of Colombia. Well done to Sara Lopez, the woman I picked to be the World Cup final champion this year.
You did pick it, yeah. I don't think we would have picked a Jensen-Lopez final necessarily, but that's how it turned out. And all three archers now crowding onto the top step of the podium for the photographs. And finally, I think now Lopez is allowing that victory to sink in with a smile as she clutches all of her prizes. Almost too much to carry as she walks off the podium there. Congratulations to her. So Andrew, are you going to sit in the stands this afternoon and enjoy the men's competition?
Yep.
Do you have a particular favourite for the men this afternoon?
Well, I'm hoping that Braden Galantine will win this year, because he won in Tokyo 2012.
Yeah, he's been a terrifically consistent performer in World Cups over these past years, and it seems like he's overdue another victory, but the men's competition is wide open with many others in the field who could emerge with the title.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of the morning's action here in the Estadio del Marmi in Rome. Our 2017 Hyundai Archery World Cup champions have been crowned. In the women's individual event, Sara Lopez took her third World Cup final title. And in the mixed team event, Denmark capped off a great World Cup season with gold against the hosts Italy. The action continues at 3 p.m. local time when the compound men enter the field of play. Thank you to Andrew Hornsby for joining me this afternoon. Andrew, it's been great to have you along. I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself. Thank you.
So thank you to viewers watching online across the world at worldarchery.org and also on the Olympic channel. Remember to follow at World Archery on Twitter. You've been watching live coverage of the 2017 Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals in Rome. We're back on the air at 3 p.m. local time. Do join us then if you can. Bye-bye.
Bye.
¿Qué más? ¿Cómo están? ¿Bien ustedes? Bien, una buena, chévere. Grises gordo. Creo que esto va a comenzar a sonar en cualquier segundo. Okay.
Okay, you ready to go?
Estoy nerviosa, estoy nerviosa.
Okay, this is in English.
Wait just if they have traffic for Sara. Okay.
Okay, Sara, you shot 3 10s to finish that match. Incredible way to win your third World Cup title. Tell me about how that felt when you put that last 10 in.
Well, I tried to put the image of the World Games in the same spot. I was really relaxed and happy because I knew I had some points of advantage, but I wanted to finish that way, strong and confident, to show the world that I'm still shooting the way I used to and not, as they said, that I'm going down. So I'm really happy for that.
Okay, 3 World Cup titles is a gigantic achievement. Where does this rank among your many, many medals in your career?
I'm really happy because I always wanted to be where I am right now, and it's crazy to believe that I already won 3. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, and next year will be harder because I will go to school, but I will try my best and find a way to keep shooting.
When you won that last with that last arrow, you put your hand over your face and you looked to the sky. Tell me what was going through your mind in that moment.
Well, my family is at home watching me. They woke up really early to watch me. My boyfriend, my friends, everyone is watching me. So I thought of the feeling of my family because they're really happy and this is a lot of sacrifice for them. So this is my way to tell them thank you.
Hola Sara, y ahora vamos a hacerlo en español para que las personas que te están viendo en Colombia entiendan todas estas respuestas, todos esos sentimientos que estás teniendo. La primera pregunta va a ser, terminaste con 3 dieces, un puntaje perfecto. ¿Cuál era el sentimiento en ese momento?
Pues sentí lo mismo que sentí en los Juegos Mundiales, que también finalicé con 3X, a pesar pues del puntaje que tenía de diferencia. Aunque sabía mi entrenador que ya había ganado, yo tenía la confianza que iba a hacerlo bien y quería finalizar de esa forma para pues terminar con mucha fuerza y estar preparada para el Mundial.
4 finales de Copa Mundo, 3 de ellas las has ganado. ¿Cómo se posiciona Roma en todos estos logros alcanzados?
Pues ha sido un año muy difícil, hice un sacrificio muy grande que fue dejar la universidad este año y creo que eso era lo que me faltaba para poder darme cuenta que fue la decisión correcta para tomar. Estoy muy contenta porque mucha gente estaba aquí viéndome, patrocinadores, estaba Ever, hay mucha gente en la tribuna apoyándome y más que eso está mi familia viéndome en Colombia. Entonces era como la forma de finalizar esta etapa de Copas del Mundo y prepararme para el Mundial y Juegos de Santa Marta.
Tú disparaste la última flecha, viste que era un 10, luego miraste al cielo. ¿Qué pensabas en ese momento? ¿Qué pasaba por tu mente luego de saber que eras la nueva campeona?
Pues estoy muy contenta porque quería que pues, mis papás me vieran ganar de esa forma, con 3 dieces como debe ser. Yo así tenga ventajas, nunca pues me relajo, siempre trato de esperar lo mejor que debo disparar. Y es como un agradecimiento a Dios, que siempre tuve a Dios en mi mente pidiéndole que fuera lo que Él quisiera. Y pues ya como de descansar, por fin terminó, fue una mañana muy difícil, pero bueno, todo salió bien.
Okay, this silver medal is a fantastic way to finish your season, but you must have thought you had a chance to win this.
Of course I did. I mean, you're in the gold final and you're like, okay, I've been shooting good all day, so if I just keep that up, I know I had a chance. But I just didn't have the same feeling in the last match as I did in the first 2, and it just wasn't enough this time.
What would you have liked to done differently in this experience, or are you comfortable with the effort you put in today?
I mean, yeah, like I put in a lot of effort the last couple of weeks, a lot of practice to make my bow shoot as well as it could, found the right arrows, and I had like a great feeling coming into today, and I know what I need to work on to hopefully next year maybe get the gold medal. Yes.
Thank you, well done. And yes, sir. podium this time around?
Geçen yıl 4. bitirdim. Ondan önceki yılda 1 puanla gelememiştim. Finaller benim için çok önemli. Çünkü burada dünyanın en iyi okçuları yarışıyor. Bu sene madalya almaya gerçekten odaklanmıştım. Çok istiyordum ve başardığım için çok mutluyum.
You qualified at the last leg in in Berlin, and you came here and you converted that into a podium finish. Round up this end of the season in just a few words for me.
Bu her yıl başıma gelen bir şey aslında. Geçen yıl da aynı şekilde son ayakta garantilemiştim. Bu sene de öyleydi. Bu biraz daha fazla heyecan verici oluyor ama bu şekilde geldiğimde daha büyük güven duyuyorum kendime.
Okay, Turkish version.
That's Turkish.
Okay, we didn't do the
She doesn't want.
Danish version. No. Okay.
Thank you. Well done. Well done. Thank you.
On 12.
And we saw a green light right before that. They were ahead on the split, but that is not going to help their efforts.
There's a few I noticed anyway, just below this sort of a slow water between 13 and 14, there's quite a collection of sticks around there now.
Bit of debris to avoid.
And like this log we both saw down, it was almost like an electricity pole, wasn't it? It was about 4 or 5 meters long this morning.
Looked like the majority of the tree.
Yeah, I actually took a photograph so I can prove what I'm saying. Because I say it's very rare to have no filter. Anyway, lovely cold water.
They dropped a bit of an edge in that hole, which is not normally ideal, but they managed to stay stable and pull that off.
That must be the fact that they know what to expect. Are the conditions here really consistent, or are we seeing moves at all?
I think the consistency is okay if you have a good frame of mind. The water is changeable, and if you put the wrong edge in, it can bite you.
Well, they're certainly bitten, and they move into provisional. Well, they have an appeal. If it's positive or negative, it's not going to affect things that much. So there are 2 teams to go. We do know that the Scanters have medalled, although we probably put money on it before. Berling, Becker, Klaus Pesch, they're the medals as we've seen. Hopshawn has just missed out. Casper Sindler, they're arguably pretty much the top team for last year, I think.
Yeah. Before this started, they kind of were I had my eye on these guys, but you can't ignore the Scantars, obviously.
Because it's a different style, isn't it? They sort of put everything in it. That makes sense. I haven't noticed the crowd so quiet for such a long time. They're all sitting down, probably just digesting their lunch, I guess.
Yeah, they're waiting for their post-lunch siesta.
Because there's quite a lot of people.